Quick question. When you think of the ultimate business leader, who comes to mind? If you go Warren Buffett, you nailed it. Warren Buffett is a top leader, one of the world's best, with a journey that's nothing short of inspiring. But what exactly makes him an ultimate business leader? Well, at just 6 years old, Warren launched his first mini business. He would buy Coca-Cola from his grandfather's store and sell them door to door for profit. It sounds simple, but it reveals his understanding of business principles many people learn later in life. At 11, he bought his first stock and sold it later for profit. While most kids were thinking toys, Warren was into investments. Fast forward to today, Warren Buffett is the chairman and CEO of Berkshire Hathaway in Nebraska, United States. It's a global investment powerhouse worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Every year, thousands of investors fly to Omaha for the Berkshire annual shareholders meeting, and they come for one reason: to hear directly from Warren Buffett himself. And here's the truth: Warren Buffett didn't inherit a fortune. He built everything from the ground up, step by step and brick by brick. In the video, we continue to break down the secrets of his business success. Let's take a deep dive. By the end, you will understand why the world continues to look to him for business inspiration. Stay tuned.
Berkshire Hathaway, now one of the world's largest and most profitable holding companies, began as a struggling textile mill. In 1965, Warren Buffett bought it and transformed it into an investment powerhouse, laying the foundation for a legendary business empire. Buffett's leadership was guided by a key principle of value investing. Instead of buying trendy stocks, he sought out well-run companies with strong, durable competitive advantages that were trading at a discount. He would then buy them or take a significant ownership stake. Over the years, Berkshire acquired businesses like Geico Insurance, See's Candies, Coca-Cola, BNSF Railway, and more recently Apple, which today is Berkshire's single largest investment. As you can see from the line graph, the results speak for themselves. From 1965 to 2022, Berkshire's book value per share grew at an average rate of 19.8% a year, nearly double that of S&P 500's 9.9%, which is a key benchmark for US stock market. To put that into perspective, $1,000 invested with Buffett in 1965 would be worth over $27 million today. Not many business leaders can buy a struggling business and make it a global giant, but this is what Warren did. And this is what makes Buffett's leadership unique, is that he didn't just invest in companies, he invested in people. He trusted strong managers to run operations while he focused on capital allocation. His visionary leadership turned a failing textile mill into a global powerhouse, proving that with foresight and discipline, a company can be completely reinvented.
Now let's talk about his business philosophy. He follows Benjamin Graham's value investing approach. Instead of chasing short-term market trends, he studies companies as a whole. He looks at the key factors like return on equity, debt to equity ratio, profit margins to see the efficiency and the company's history. Most importantly, he compares a stock's price to its intrinsic value, buying only when it's undervalued. Some of Buffett's biggest holdings are Apple, Bank of America, American Express, Coca-Cola, Kraft Heinz, and Chevron. He also gives simple rules for everyday investors. His famous 90 to 10 rule suggests putting 90% into an S&P 500 index fund and 10% into government bonds. His number one rule is never lose money. He invests like a bargain hunter, always looking for quality companies at fair prices. This picture shows a famous quote by Benjamin Graham. This picture highlights how stock prices can be swayed by popularity in the short term, but in the long term, the real value of a business always shows. Two of Buffett's best-known investments are Coca-Cola and Apple. In 1988, he invested 1.3 billion in Coca-Cola because of its strong global brand, excellent distribution, and high return on capital. That investment is now worth over 20 billion and it brings in more than 700 million in annual dividends. In 2016, he invested 36 billion in Apple, seeing its strong ecosystem, loyal customers and recurring revenue. Today, that investment is valued at over 160 billion. These cases show how his philosophy leads to a long-term success.
I'm going to talk about Warren Buffett's leadership style. He uses the mix of multiple styles. So the first one is the delegative leadership, where he trusts his managers deeply, giving them autonomy to run the companies like GICO, BNSF without interference, which builds accountability and innovations. Second is the visionary. He transformed Berkshire Hathaway into a global conglomerate by focusing on business with the strong fundamentals, emphasizing patience, long-term growth, and people's trust. Next is the stewardship, where the Buffett sees himself as the guardian of the shareholder capital, practicing transparency, fair capital allocation, and responsibility towards the employees, society, and the investors. Next is the integrity, where he consistently does the right thing even when difficult, leading by the example and build long-term loyalty and sustainable success at the Berkshire Hathaway. The last is the intellectual humility. He openly admits mistakes, surrounds himself with the capable advisors, and remains eager to learn from the others, showing his humanity and authenticity. Warren Buffett's leadership truly shines during the crisis, and here are the three main examples regarding to it. First is in the early 1990s. The Salmon Brothers scandal threatened the firm after illegal bidding was uncovered. Buffett, as an interim chairman, defended its reputation and stabilized the company, showing his ability to step in and lead under the pressure. Second is during the 2008 financial crisis, while market collapsed, Buffett invested in billions in the companies like Goldman Sachs. This action provided much-needed confidence and capital in the system, reinforcing his belief in the America and long-term value. Final is during the COVID-19 pandemic, he took the opposite approach, selling the Berkshire's airline holding when travel demand collapsed, though he later admitted it was a mistake, and it showed his discipline in protecting long-term capital when he saw limited opportunities.
Now, Warren Buffett's philanthropy. In his lifetime, he has donated more than $56 billion by personal donations and foundations. His major pledge began in 2006. As a part of his estate plan, he has pledged 99.5% of his wealth to charity. Buffett also co-founded the Giving Pledge along with Bill and Melinda Gates to encourage more than 200 billionaires to commit charitable causes. Now let's look at where Buffett's billions go. Most of his donations goes to major foundations like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which mainly focus on global health and education initiatives. Susan Foundation, supporting education and reproductive health. Howard G. Buffett Foundation, which is focusing on food security and conflict resolution. Next is a Sherwood Foundation, which is addressing social justice and equity issues. Last is the Novo Foundation, which initiatives for women and girls empowerment. Now move to a chart. This chart shows how Warren Buffett's donations have grown steadily over the last decade. In 2012, his giving was under $20 billion, but by 2021, it had passed $50 billion. The chart also breaks down where his money was going. Education and global health are the largest portion, showing his long-term focus on improving opportunities and saving lives. You can also see major investments in poverty alleviations, women's empowerment, along with support for environment and disaster relief. What stands out is that his giving isn't random. It's spread across a big global challenges in a very structured way. Overall, the chart highlights both scale and balance of Buffett's philanthropy.
Warren Buffett is widely regarded as the ultimate business leader because of his long-term vision, disciplined investment approach, and unmatched ability to build trust. He does not just speak about leadership, he lives in it every day, showing humanity, patience, and integrity in every decision. By focusing on real value rather than chasing short-term gains, and by selecting strong managers and sustainable businesses, he has turned Berkshire Hathaway into one of the most successful companies in the world. What truly sets Buffett apart are the qualities consistently demonstrate. First, patience and consistency. He invests for decades, not quarters, proving that long-term thinking drives lasting results. Second, integrity. Known as Oprah of Ohama, people respect him because of he has built his reputation on honesty and ethical decision making. Third, empowerment. Buffett trusts his managers to run their businesses independently, avoiding micromanagement. Fourth, simplicity. He explained complex strategies in ways anyone can understand. And finally, adaptability. Even in his 90s, he remained relevant, navigating changing markets while staying true to his principles. These traits show that Buffett is not just an investor, he is a leader who inspired generations to value integrity, patience, and purpose alongside profit. And here is all about Warren Buffett, about his early business crisis, investment growth, and his simplicity, as well as good qualities that make him a good leader. And this is our bibliography and image reference for this video. Thank you.